If you ever wanted a snack before you listen to JJ Meets World, this is the one. I'm going to talk all about concessions. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode of JJ Meets World, all about concessions. And by the way, if you'd like to help support our podcast, visit jjmeetsworld.com where you can donate to our Patreon, pick up some killer swag at our merch shop, or click the link to Apple Podcast and give us a 5-star review.
1, 2, 3, 4. J.J. Gordon, sort of like that Indiana Jones, in that he's always sniffing out his next adventure. Yes, he is! He's always interviewing guests so he can have them on his show and they can talk about pop culture, arts, and leisure. J.J. has his flag unfurled and he likes his french fries curled, and he's fun and then he twirled as he goes to meet the world. He will march into the rain even if his ankle's sprained. Take a peek inside his brain. This podcast is called JJ Meets World.
Tucker, I have a newfound skill set that I've been slowly cultivating over the years, and I didn't even realize I was working on it.
I'm glad you found one because we've all said how untalented you are.
You have. Everyone's been like, if only JJ could find something.
Yeah. It's
right?
nice that we have programs that let unskilled people like JJ work.
Right, exactly. Like, it's great to be the #1 rated radio show. So let me tell you about my skill set. So I've been working at Fargo South High in their drama department. And their musical, Seussical, just went up, okay? Seussical, it's a fun show. It uses a bunch of Dr. Seuss books. It's, it's song after song after song. It's meant like for kiddos. And at one point someone said, is someone going to do concessions for the show? Now, usually what they do is they have like cheesecake for sale, nice. During intermission, right? Yeah, but it's like $5, and
sure.
Like you're like, oh, who's gonna get all this? And then it's parent volunteers, and I said, I actually have a better idea. Let's run real concessions for this. And so they said, well, fine, but someone's got to do it. And I said, yeah, I'll do it. I can do that. And they said, okay, well, do you have any background? And I'm like, yes, I was the concessions manager at the Fargo Theatre.
Yeah. Do you have? Oh, yeah. Let's see your doctorate.
Right.
Like beggars gonna be choosers now.
I also think I might have a doctorate in concessions because I'm also really good at eating concessions.
The candy game was never stronger at Fargo Theatre than when you were running it.
Thank you so much. People used to compliment, like, thank you for getting the high-end candies because I'm coming to a high-end experience. I'm like, I know. But then there's also things like Whoppers.
There was an over-reliance on Whoppers and Junior Mints at that time, and I'm really glad you made it better.
Oh, my God, right? Because, like, you need Whoppers for that, one guy who comes in for them. But, like, my God. Also, Junior Mints, we'll dive into this immediately. Junior Mints are the Iceberg of the Titanic concessions. And I'll tell you why. The mint is so strong from Junior Mints. You can't store those next to anything else without them absorbing the scent of Junior Mints, which is one of the reasons I was like, listen, if we're going to have Junior Mints, we have to hold them far off to the side, because if you've ever tasted chocolate that's been stored next to something that has like a flavor, the chocolate absorbs that flavor, and it's awful.
I also think they're losing a lot of money by selling them in boxes, because like when I eat a Junior Mint, I'm like, hey, that was good, but I don't need 72 more. Right now.
Yes.
Certainly, right? They could probably drop the price down to like 25 cents and sell them for that for
a
one
single
Junior Mint, and someone would fucking buy it.
I mean, the word mint in it, I don't think of sitting and eating an entire box of mints, whether they're junior or not.
No, you want to down this tube of toothpaste right afterwards?
It's why the peppermint patty and like the York peppermint patty is a good idea, or a Klondike bar.
That was
you can get the whole thing and it's one bite, like one unit.
Oh my God. So seeing the what would you do for Klondike bar commercials as a
love
kid
those.
made me go, oh my God, this must be amazing. When I finally got my hands on one, that was the first lesson I had in, advertising's bullshit.
Sometimes you fall for it.
I don't like this is toothpaste. Anyways.
Did you ever watch The Office?
The British one. I've seen sections of the American one.
There's a great part in the American one where Andy, who's played by Ed Helms, they're talking about making a commercial for work, and like, Michael's going to direct it. And he's like, we got to have a great jingle, like the greatest jingle of time, like give me a break, break me off a piece of that. And he goes, what was it? And Jim goes, nobody tell him. And so for the rest of the thing, he's like, give me a break, break me off a piece of that Chrysler car. And like he keeps trying to remember what the product is, and like it's just break me off a piece of that Chrysler car. Anyway, so I get tapped for concessions, and I immediately know, okay, first and foremost, this is one of the things that I think sets a concession stand aside. Tablecloth. A good tablecloth makes it look like what you're doing is intentional.
Yeah.
Now, I also wanted something that had some height to it.
It's the Merkin of concession stands.
It is the Merkin. You're always excited when you see it and a little surprised.
Yep.
And a little surprised. So
it communicates hygiene.
It does. It does. And it says, I planned in advance for this evening. I was not surprised at what was going on. So at my work years ago.
Carpet can't match the drapes when there's no carpet.
It's linoleum. It's well buffed. Look at God, you're giggling like a little kid. Should we talk about farts too? Would that appease you today? Like you're turning red. You're liking this conversation so much. You want anything else?
No, I'm
you
good.
Want? Okay, are you sure? Are you sure?
I'm listening to you talk about
that's fine. Like,
how good you are at buying and selling candy.
Okay. So at my work, at one point, someone had purchased, got a really great carpenter to build a lemonade stand.
I'm picturing you with the giant Hershey's bar.
Yeah, that picture with me is that's probably where my concessions obsession started. I like the 5-pound Hershey's Symphony bar, wearing a green sweatsuit with matching top and bottom.
I mean this. If radio ever fails you, confectionery. That's what you should be going into.
I know, trust me.
You've got the kind of face I would put on a candy bar.
Yeah, you don't want to put a thin face on a candy bar.
That's not what I'm saying. That's actually not what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. Also, like, if you told me, like, oh, it's Tucker's bologna, but you were a thin man, I'd be like, that bologna sucks. I can tell. It is about advertising. Like, it's why you want, like, Uncle Tubby's chocolate explosion bar is so much better than, like, Greg's gym bar. No one wants the gym bar. Disgusting. You want Uncle Tubby's. Actually, that's the name of my chocolate company. Uncle Tubby.
Yep.
Because you trust Uncle Tubby.
And he has to have like a medicine jug. He has to be Southern.
Yes.
He's got to be. He needs a rocking chair. He needs a porch. He needs a straw hat.
And the commercials are him stirring a big pot of chocolate. He goes, oh, it gets mighty hot down here around chocolate season.
And it's all like he's making hooch in the countryside.
Yes. 100%.
The kids come to visit and he's like, run away, it's going to blow.
And also, every time he talks about something in his chocolate, it's chock full.
Yeah.
Like he's using the word chock full.
Yeah, but it's great. If you want to
full of peanuts.
If you want to get some of this chocolate, you got to go to this tree stump on the edge of town. It's got a rock on it. You put $20 under the tree stump. You leave for an hour. You come back. There's going to be a jar of pure chocolate there.
Uncle Tubby's pure chocolate. And here's the thing. Aunt Tubby is his wife, and she does all of the like fruity stuff, right? Like my Skittles ripoff, which will be called Scuttles, shaped like little birds. And there'll be no lemon though. No lemon from Aunt Tubby's sweet confections.
So anyway, so you're really good at concessions.
So I'm good at concessions. So at my work, somebody had hired a contractor to build a lemonade stand at one point, and it folds up really easily. It's in these 3 pieces, and it looks like it was made out of a picket fence, like a little kid made it. But
That's cute.
We put 2 pipe holders on the side, so I can put a PVC like awning over it.
Oh, nice.
And so I do that. So this is my setup. I have a giant 8-foot table to my right, and then my concession stand where you come to pay is where I've got the lemonade stand. And I have all my wares are open and you can see them. Then I have a table behind me that has all the stock on it, right? So I start thinking to myself, okay, Seussical, it's made for kids. They're actually going to start the shows at 6:30. So people are either going to come having just eaten or they're going to come hungry.
Smart.
So one of the first things I decide is it needs popcorn.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
It needs popcorn. And I only know one amazing popcorn game in Fargo, and that's Marcus Theaters. So I call up Tristan. Hi, Tristan. I know you're listening. And I say, hey, listen, I'm doing this concessions thing and I need popcorn and I need the best popcorn. And I know that my co-host on the radio, when they do their elementary school movie, like popcorn day, which is like for the kids, like it's a fun thing for the kids, she goes and purchases Marcus Theater popcorn and the kids go gaga for it, right? So I call Tristan up and I'm like, I need some popcorn. He goes, I got you covered, 100%. And so I go and I pick up popcorn and I like...
So this is popped, ready to go.
This is popped, ready to go. They're in these giant bags. You can buy these bags like for home popcorn, like if you want to have a home thing for your movie. I started doing that. I love my homemade popcorn, but movie theater popcorn has a different just jam to it, and it's so good, and it's all done and ready for you. And so you can order these big bags in advance. And so I showed up at 2:00, picked up these big bags. Boom, there you go. It's my number one seller.
Nice.
And I have a little tiny popcorn popper. It looks like a movie theater popper, and I put that on the table and put some popcorn in the bottom of it to kind of like zhuzh it up a little bit, right? To give people like, oh, look at that.
A little pageantry.
Yes. And then I turned the warming lamp on for it. And so you get the smell of popcorn, which is the other thing. That pulls people in. People love the smell of popcorn, right?
You're playing three-dimensional chess.
I am, 100%. I also decide to do this with my pricing. I have 3 items that are $1. Everything else is $2. So there's no this is $2.75 and that's a $1.20.
I love it.
Like, let's keep it simple.
Change is simple.
Exactly, right? Easy. And for the most part, if you're buying $10 worth of stuff and you're like, I'd like a fruit by the foot as well, I'm just going to throw the fruit by the foot in with it.
I would love to know, too, what kind of denominations do you have set up how much do you have already in the till to handle change?
Oh, that's a great question. So,
because that drives me nuts when people don't prep for that and they run out.
Right. So the bursar at Fargo South is great. Her name's Chris. She actually used to work with Jill back in the day. And I was telling Chris, I was like...
Reimburser.
No, but the bursar, the person who handles finances. You've never heard that term before?
Bursar?
Bursar, yeah.
I've never heard the word bursar before.
They used to use that at Trollwood all the time.
Really?
And they also use it in the musical Hamilton.
I've not seen that. So
would you like the exact definition of it? Like,
sure.
I'll throw it out there, yeah.
Sure, I love getting a new wrinkle in the brain.
I love using that term.
I mean, I can think of reimburse, right?
Right. And it's part of that.
Okay.
Bursar. The bursar is responsible for billing of student tuition accounts. This responsibility involves sending bills and making payment plans. The ultimate goal is to bring students' accounts to a paid-off status. Bursars are not necessarily involved in the financial aid process and can provide additional financial resources to educational institutions.
Flunked out of college, barely even tried. That's why I don't know what a bursar is.
Bursar.
There we go.
So the bursar at Fargo South is Chris, and she's awesome. And I said, okay, I'd like to start with a cash box of $300. And I'd like $100 in ones and then 10s and 5s and maybe a couple 20s. The first night I do it, the third guy who comes in, $100 bill.
Come on, dude.
At a school, right? So my intention was to take this cash box and then just have it and then bring it out each night. But so after
he
opening...
wiped you out the first night.
After opening night, I had to bring it back and be like, I'll just give you this cash and you can set me back to 0 and we'll take care of it, right? And she goes, yep, we'll take care of it. So thanks, Chris. So I made sure I had plenty of cash, right? I also started using a card tap. I got one of the square taps so I can accept card.
Oh, okay.
And that has been a game changer because so many people are like, is there an ATM? Like, there's not one handy, but I can take a card if you want.
Right.
And I can take Apple Pay, all that kind of stuff, right? Yeah. So it makes it ultra convenient with the exception of I have to have my phone fully charged because that's where it's at.
There's a processing fee, I would assume, right?
There is. It's so minimal.
Okay.
It's so minimal. I mean, like, out of $100, I think you pay it's like 3.5% because I think I paid $3.50 in processing.
Okay.
And so, in all honesty,
sure.
Like
that makes sense,
right?
Then. Yeah,
and
totally.
like my transactions are like $28 when they're doing that, so totally worth it.
I'm like hyper focused on finances right now.
Yes,
so that's why I keep
you should
thinking
be.
of
You
it,
should be. And so, so here's the thing. I don't want to go to... I don't want to buy all this stuff in advance, right? Like, I don't want to be like, okay, I'm going to order 100 Sour Patch Kids in advance.
Right.
So I went to the dollar store, and even though they're $1.25, you buy a movie theater style candy for $1.25. I charge $2, so I'm making 75 cents off of each thing of candy, right? And so these are my candy options. And I was really proud of what I did with this. Cookie dough bites, Swedish Fish, Sour Patch Kids, Raisinets, Bunch of Crunch, Reese's Pieces, Hot Tamales, Mike and Ike Sour Watermelon, Mike and Ike Sour Extreme, Junior Mints, Junior Caramels, which are, it's the Junior Mint chocolate covering caramel rather than mint. Real legit, really good. Gummy bears. I have Pixie Sticks were donated, like the big, huge Pixie Sticks. And then I had like the Bear Fruit bars, the only healthy thing. I've sold one of those, just one. Fruit by the foot, bottled water, and then the cotton candy that I made. And I don't call it cotton candy. I call it Truffula Fluff. No Truffula trees were harmed in the collection of this fluff.
What a smart idea for a musical.
Right? And then... I mean, it says no food or drink allowed in the theater, but I'm like, gang, we need to replenish these coffers. I don't want someone here to have to eat all the popcorn before they go back in. And the question was like, well, what are we going to do about like the mess it makes? I said, I got you covered. And so I brought my leaf blower. And I said, I will get a kid to walk up and down these aisles and blow everything out of the front. And it worked perfectly. It worked perfectly. Just send it all down to the front, and then you vacuum the front, and you're good to go. I learned that trick from a major stadium. And if there were concrete floors, I'd say, let's just hose them down. So I also buy roses, because I know some people want to give flowers to cast and stuff like that. And so I'm probably going to lose money on the flowers. Not going to lie.
So this is all, how much of this was stuff that I
purchased everything.
Okay.
And so what I'll do is I'll submit my bills at the end, and then they'll, go back and they'll take care of it.
So they provided like the change jar.
Yep. And then whatever we make all goes towards the Fargo South Drama Department,
sure,
right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
And so here, my thought was this: there's a real world where by the end of this weekend, there's $1,000 that we took in, right? And so after my expenses, that's $800 that they didn't have before. Yeah. Why not, right?
Right.
And so I've gone and replenished the candy every night based on like what my big sales were and like what I had left of each thing. And so that's been kind of fun to see like, oh, this was a big seller. This wasn't so much. Like I started with 5 hot tamales and I sold out of them immediately. And I was like, I didn't expect hot tamales to be this big. Right?
That would have been that was, as you were listing off, the selection, phenomenal.
Oh, also plain and peanut M&Ms.
One of the reasons why the selection is phenomenal is that I counted at least 6 items that I would never buy, and there were still plenty of options left over for me. Love that about you.
And like, because I know this is a show, again, made to attract children, right? But because children are coming, grandma and grandpa are coming too. So they're the ones who are buying Junior Mints while their kids are buying the gummy bears and stuff like that.
You missed a chance on some Werther's Originals there, maybe.
Actually,
that's not true. I take that back, because either you're getting a giant bag of them,
right,
or you've got a single one that someone handed to you. You didn't pay for it. I take that back.
And
retracted, I am not a genius when it comes to concessions.
I also decided actively against gum. Because I was like, I could do gum.
You are in a school.
Right, exactly. And that's the thing is like, popcorn, you drop popcorn, no big deal. I can blow that to the front.
It's like wearing a hat in church. It's like I watched Little House on the Prairie. Right. I know that's not supposed to happen.
Bingo. And so I was like, I know I can be smarter about this when it comes to concessions. The first night, I handled the pre-show concessions by myself. And I moved the line along pretty nicely, but it wasn't as great as it could have been. And so at intermission, a mom and dad from one of the cast members were like, we're going to come back and help you. I'm like, that's okay. They're like, no, we're helping you. And I'm like, you know what? Thank you for not allowing me to not accept help.
Yeah.
So they help. And then the next day I got an email from the same dad, and he goes, my mother-in-law will stake out with you tonight and help. And I'm like, that's great.
That's very cool.
I had met her the night before, and I kept calling her grandma because I didn't know what her real name was. And it turns out her name's Betty. And so Betty came, and Betty had some ideas. She's like, listen, you know what we need to do? We need to be like holding up the popcorn. So when people see it, they're like, oh yeah, popcorn. Awesome. Because I didn't make a menu like that you could see. I just had big signs that said concessions, and essentially people walk up. Now, what I'm going to do tonight, which it took me 2 nights to come up with this idea, but there's no sound in the lobby, just people like milling about. So I'm going to have a speaker setup with light, kind of whimsical music, and then in between the songs, it's going to be like, welcome to Fargo South's production of Seussical. Make sure to stop by the concession stands and get hot, fresh popcorn, or maybe something sweet to eat, like that. And then I'll like include these things, like these little interstitials, to get people in the mood for this.
I have an idea that might not be a good idea.
Okay, lay it on me. I'm ready to hear. Yes.
You have everyone's there in the lobby milling around. You have someone walking around with a serving tray that has little paper cups that are filled with popcorn and M&Ms. And it's little, just, and it's complimentary.
You want a little something?
Hey, you want a little something? Can I help you over there? And if you're looking for anything else, we've got concessions over there, right? And people get a little pick me up, just a little taste.
So it's interesting you say that, because I had Jill, my wife, help me yesterday, and one of the things she mentioned was, what you should do is if you did like a 2-foot diameter piece of like plywood, like, 1/4-inch plywood, and drilled little holes into it and put a dowel on the bottom, you could go into the theater and walk around cotton candy. And I said, you could also do that with the popcorn. Those things are both very light. Someone could walk around and like, you could make the interactions there. I was like, how many sales are we missing because someone didn't want to wait in the line?
Yeah, bunch of little $2 bags of popcorn. Right?
Yeah.
Or is that what you're selling the popcorn for?
That's what we're selling it for.
So it's, pre-bagged. It's not like you want a large, bigger, it's like, no, that's just, it's this right here.
Here you go. And hand it right over. So I will continue to up my game when it comes to concessions.
The only thing I've eaten today is the sugar cookie you brought me before we started recording.
Was it
but
good?
This isn't making me hungry. It's making my stomach hurt because I'm imagining now going and eating popcorn and sugar.
So, in addition to that, so at one point Jill was, I 2 stories I want to make sure I get into this. Number one, Jill was like, you'd do well if you sold hot food too, like, individual slices of pizza and hot dogs. And I said, this is not a volleyball game.
No, and also like but those require ovens.
Yeah, there's so much more that goes into it. And she's like, yeah, but you could make more money with it. And I'm like, at what cost? Because here's the thing, everything I have, with the exception of the popcorn and the roses, anything that I have that doesn't sell, I can put into storage for a month from now when we are doing the one act, and I can pull it out and sell it at the one act, right? And so
just freeze those cooked hot dogs, JJ.
Now,
air fry them.
This is where the trouble is going to come in for me. Because my concessions, first of all, everyone,
it's going to be too successful.
That is exactly what has happened. So the concession stand,
damned if you do.
It looks so good, and it's so engaging and so enticing, and people, because not only do you come up and get your delicious treats, but you get me interacting with you, right? So like your daughter comes up and she's kind of nervous, and I'm like,
celebrity JJ Gordon is manning this.
Exactly right. And so Jill compliments. She goes like, people are not only going to get their treats, but they also kind of get like this one-on-one time with you, and you're, so gregarious, and, people like that, versus just like $2, hand them the popcorn, and they're gone. Be like, this is the best popcorn you're ever going to eat until I sell the next one.
Do you ever like, Jill, see, people like me?
Yeah. And it's funny is Jill's like, you be the front and I will get all the stuff here, and then you just take the money and then hand it to me. And I'm like, yep, that's a good way for us to interact. To do it. But this is where my success really hurt me. There's a wrestling meet on Thursday, and it's at the opposite end of the school.
Oh, damn it.
And
now you're the concessions guy.
No, even worse. I made enemies because there is concessions at the gym, and people start getting whispers, and they're like, the concessions by the theater are way better than the concessions by the gym. And so people start coming down. And they start like looking for me, and like my concessions, they're like, God, you got way more candy than they've got down there. They only have Twizzlers.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I understand. I get it. And so it got to the point where I was like, I'm not sad that I pulled a bunch of your people down here because we need the money for the drama department. But at the same time, I also don't want to have a war with another group, because the concessions are run by a thing called the Bruin Boosters, which is a group of parents who raise money to promote stuff at the school, and they're trying to do the same thing. And they've got a popcorn machine that I probably could have asked to use, but I was like, I want the movie theater to do it, because people, when they hear it's movie theater popcorn, that's a big deal. And the fact that Marcus gave me such an incredible deal on it, and it was there and ready to make the amount of popcorn that I got from Marcus, by the time I add my time, my labor, like everything else I need, I think I'd come out further behind than I am right now.
Yeah, they need to look at your success and say, oh, let's learn from him.
Yes.
Not, oh, let's end this.
Yes.
So you're saying there was a wrestling meet happening at the same time that the show was going on, therefore
both concessions were open at the same time.
They were pulling from each other.
Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
The Labor Bureau stats aren't out yet.
I also, I'm this person too. So, the concessions run all the way through intermission. So, if you come out during the first act, I will gladly sell you anything you want. And then it's only after intermission ends that I pack up the concessions, because I know the lobby is going to be full of people glad handing and saying good work and da-da-da-da-da.
This time next year, you're going to have a logo. There's going to be a liquor license.
There's going to be I got it. I'll bring back the cheesecake, but it's cheesecake bites. What I was thinking is
Chef Molly is here today.
Yes,
she's doing.
We're working on a tiramisu that uses Earl Grey. I think one of the things that, in all honesty, clearly some of the candy choices and the cotton candy was based around the fact that this is Seussical, right? But let's say that they had done a Christmas Carol, I would have more Christmassy themed stuff and British themed stuff, even as part of this. Now, one other thing about this too that I want to bring up is a couple parents did baked goods that they brought, and so there was a plate of chocolate chip cookies. There was a tub of chocolate chip cookies, and then a cookie tin full of these walnut chocolate cookies that are amazing. I've purchased 4 of them myself. They're so good, and what is interesting is I'm not a parent, so I didn't know that this is a thing that they do now, but it's written on the front of everything that's in it. So it's got dairy, it's got eggs, but it doesn't say what it is. So I had to try one of each of the cookies to confirm that this is not an oatmeal chocolate chip. This is just a chocolate chip cookie. So that was the hard work. But one of them said gluten right on the front of it. And there was this moment where Betty, who was helping me, she goes oh, these are gluten-free. And so I hear her telling some guy these are the gluten-free cookies. And I'm no, I actually think she's saying gluten is in this. And he's I don't care. Just give me 2. I was okay, sounds good. Just want to make sure that you weren't, a celiac. So you're going to be mad.
I call you up one day and I'm Mr. Beaton. And I'm JJ, I'm really happy with what I'm seeing coming out of, I'm assuming he has some pull over with this. I don't really know.
Yeah.
I just threw out his name, but I'm really excited about what I've seen. I think this is a really inspiring way for us to raise money for the drama department. And in fact, we were able to approve all of next year's slate of performances because we know we have this tie-in system now. So what I need to hear from you is I'm going to tell you what shows we're doing next year, and I want to know what the menu is going to be.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to open next year with Jekyll and Hyde, the musical.
Okay, yeah.
And then we're going to follow that up with
we're going to do Oreo cookies.
Okay.
Because you got the cookie on the outside but the cream on the inside.
Okay. Is there anything that we can do to say this character is a prostitute?
In the concession side?
Well, there's a prostitute in it, so I'd like to make sure that we represent that part in the concessions.
In the concession side?
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I'll set a kissing booth up right next to the concessions, and so you'll be able to get chocolate kisses.
Awesome.
But you'll have to pay for them.
Awesome.
They're not free. They're also very expensive chocolate kisses.
Great. We're then going to do a 1-act. But what we really think we can fill the house with this one, and it's a new interpretation of Diary of Anne Frank, but seen from the perspective of the Nazis. It's a new initiative from the Trump administration, so we wanted to embrace that side of the political aisle.
My wife has really been pushing me to sell hot dogs, but what if we go straight to bratwurst and some sauerkraut? We will make it smell authentically like Germany in there. Even though I know technically Diary Van Frank is in Amsterdam.
Yep.
So it's in the Netherlands.
Right.
But I think that would be a good move for us.
Right. That's excellent. Okay. So it's just basically anything that.
Also, here's what I plan on doing. Every third bratwurst, I'm going to take it back.
Excellent.
I'll charge them the money, but I'll take it back.
Excellent. And then we're going to end the year with hairspray.
Great. That's very easy. I'm going to put hairspray all over everything, so it tastes like hairspray. That's going to wrap it up for today's show. If you enjoyed this episode and would like to help us continue to produce new episodes each week, visit jjmeetsworld.com, where you can donate to our Patreon, pick up some swag at the merch shop, or follow our link to Apple Podcasts and leave us a 5-star review. You can also follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, all the sites the cool kids are using these days. JJ Meets World is produced every week by Tucker Lucas. You can find out more about Tucker's work by visiting moonbasemaria.com. If you want to get in touch with your host with the most, check out linebenders.com, where you can find direct contact info for JJ or booking information. The best part of concessions, though, in my opinion, is giving free concessions to someone who's really nice or polite. Like, we had these girls who helped us, and I'm like, you guys can pick anything. And they said anything. I'd be like, core memory just made.